Good morning, my beautiful collective. I hope you're having a wonderful day. What's up, collective? You can ring my bell, ring my bell. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Okay, this reading is probably not going to be for everybody, but I got to tell you, some of you all, this retrograde is seriously going to bring back someone from your long lost past. And I'm talking 90s. Remember when the Jewel song Foolish Games come out? I looked, it was recorded in 94 and then re-recorded in 97 for the Batman and Robin movie. So 94 to 97 could mean something to somebody. I'd have been 21 to 23. Your early 20s or in that time frame. Okay? Now, if you're not that old, some of my younger ones, it could just be when you were younger. But I'm really feeling this is like for us older, more wiser, more what's the word I want to say? More experienced, I guess. What tech do we want to use? There is going to be a total blast from the past. And this isn't someone that's shrouded with a lot of bullshit. This is just, you were young, you grew apart, and there you go, right? You went your separate fucking ways. There's no healing that needs to take place. There's no, bullshit. This is just one of them. If you ran into them, you'd be like, oh my God, how the fuck are you? How long has it been? Some of you all, 20 fucking years. It's a beautiful blast from the past. And you might know if that's you because you might be thinking about someone that just popped into your head, from back. And this doesn't even have to even be someone that you know. This could have been, think of all the jobs you've had or different things that you did. This could have been someone from the past that knew you and just never spoke. And with social media being the way it is, if they could remember your name, they could look your ass up. It could be that kind of energy. Retrograde energy just calls people to really go in and reflect. And someone could be reflecting on their past, reflecting on their youth, and thinking about past decisions and things they wish they'd have done, and now start putting that into motion. For you, is there anyone that you would go back that you met 20 years ago that you wish you'd have told them how you felt? Or given them the opportunity? And this could be anyone. It doesn't have to even be someone that you know. This could have been someone that you used to work with. So when we say the past might be coming back, y'all, it could be someone that you knew but not really knew. Don't always get stuck in this immediate time frame. Because so many people, you've met so many people, you've impacted so many people through the years, that anything is possible. A Foolish Games just popped up on my feed out of the fucking blue, and I'm like, oh my God, that was such a beautiful time frame. And the music, right? Foolish Game, well, that Pieces of Me album was just fucking brilliant to begin with. I'm always drawn back to Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. And of course, Jagged Little Pill. A nostalgic energy. I could think of three that I hadn't seen in over 20 plus years. that I would love to be able to just sit down and talk, catch up, reminisce. See what type of men they turned out to be. Can any of you? My men, you know, the ladies, what kind of women did they turn out to be? What was their life? What has been their life so far? You know, sometimes it's missed opportunities, and sometimes them opportunities come back around. You just expect the unexpected, right? And not every past, when we say the past, is necessarily that past person that's recent. Some of these people could be coming from your long, long past. Pull the cards or just see what wants to pop. What's this energy about, Spirit? What does my collective need to know on this? Seven of Pentacles. This is someone being reflective, right? Seven of Pentacles is about looking back at what you've done, looking back at what you've accomplished, looking back at situations in your life, maybe where you wish you'd have done this or wished you'd have done that. How would your life have been different had you taken that course of action? Had you followed that road? If you told that person how you felt, how would things have changed? How would your life be now had you have made that decision? This could be your energy collective. This could be something you're thinking about doing. Maybe you're looking up someone from your long lost past, an old past love. I keep saying 1993 is going to be an important year for somebody. Where you were, what was going on in your life, how things evolved in 1993 in your life is going to be impactful right now. It's like that comeback around energy. That's Seven of Pentacles. Someone's thinking. And you know, any retrograde energy is about that, right? Your past losses, your past failures, what you wish you'd have done. When we talk about going in and healing that inner child, you know, that's all the people that you dealt with even back in those time frames, right? I mean, think about your fucking 20s. How many things you fucked up in your 20s? Because you're allowed to, right? And people wanting to go back and think, well, what if? And for a lot of you, when we talk about this person's situation, this person's world falling apart, that could be someone that you haven't met yet. Okay? You got to look at tarot in a more broader perspective. It's not always the last two or three. Sometimes the way the universe works, it's everyone that you've met, anyone that you've met in your life up until this point. And I'm feeling that heavy. So you know what? I'm going to say for a lot of people, that's going to be maybe the big surprise. Maybe things happen, their life gets uprooted, and now they're at a crossroads. They're really thinking. Maybe taking a trip down memory lane, going back if someone has left their hometown, going back for a visit, seeing how things were, walking around and seeing who's still around, right? Seeing who's on social media, seeing what their life is about. And maybe some looking up that one that got away. Ooh, y'all know Mystic Beauty put that song up. Katy Perry's The One That Got Away. Oh my God, that's such a beautiful song. And so freaking... It's retrograde energy, guys and gals. But it's not always current energy. Think of all the people you've met all throughout your life. Ten of Swords in reverse. Four of Wands. Two of Swords. The High Priestess in reverse. I think someone is really reflecting back on their past, reflecting back on their youth. You know, look at that. lady in the mirror all dressed up, and then, you see the counterpart there with just, sweats and a sweatshirt on. Remember how you dressed when you were younger in your 20s versus maybe how you dress now? A simpler time, a different look. That Ten of Swords in reverse. Retrograde energy brings up even, your thoughts and memories from the past. Maybe for some it is that, the one that got away. I found that interesting when Mystic Beauty posted that, the one that got away. Of course, in that case, the person died, right? But in some of your cases, they just, you just went your separate ways. They weren't in the picture anymore. The High Priestess in reverse. I think for some of you, when you get stuck in the tarot land trap, you tend to think it's always like the last person or the last few people, or every reading is, how it's just the immediate. If someone from your long lost past was really looking you up and watching what you were going on, watching your posts, checking out what you had going on, maybe deciding if they could come in, and kind of a surprise visit on you, what would you do? Clarify this High Priestess in reverse. What's this High Priestess in reverse? Not trusting your guts, guidance, and intuition. High Priestess in reverse with this Queen of Wands energy. So the Two of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Ten of Swords in reverse. With the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You know what I feel from this? If they've looked you up, and are watching you on a social media platform, they see now, maybe you were always this fiery, passionate person, right? Here's that Two of Swords, right? You were always intellectual. You were always, stimulating. You were always maybe a little mouthy. You were always in your power, right? And with that Queen of Wands energy, as you've grown up, you've still kept that spark. You've still kept that thing about you that makes you so fucking beautiful. It's not always looks, guys and gals. It's confidence. It's how you handle yourself. It's how you hold yourself. It's how you present yourself. Queen of Wands energy, always being a go-getter. Maybe, they knew you when you were younger, and even then you still had that drive. You had that power even then. That drive to understand, to know, to communicate, to always just be doing something. Even though you were still young and naive as fuck, right? Two of Swords there with the blindfold on. But now, with all that practice, with all that you've learned, with all your knowledge, put 10, 20, 30 fucking years on that shit. And now, look at what you've become. By men, it's the same energy, right? This could be a long-lost female hunting you down, checking you out. Maybe for some of you all, you are the one that got away. And someone has always kept you in the back of their mind. Now, honestly, ask yourself, is there someone that you think back on now as the one that got away? That's interesting that the one that got away come up. Foolish games. Someone thinks you're the one that got away. Now, collective, this could be you. Maybe you're being drawn to think about the one that got away in your life, right? Maybe you've been watching somebody on social media. Not everything is about someone dealing with you. Maybe you're the one that, during this retrograde, has been thinking about a person from the past. For some of you that haven't, has someone popped into your mind? Has someone just kind of, you heard a name and you're like, oh, that's a weird name. I haven't heard that name in a while. And then it brings back a bunch of memories and you're like, I wonder where the hell they are. I wonder what they got up to. Now, does this necessarily mean love? It doesn't necessarily have to mean it's going to turn into a love relationship, but it could re-spark a friendship, get you guys communicating again. I do see Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We got Magician here and the Wheel of Fortune. And for a lot of you, this is just... If it was truly meant to be a partnership, that you guys were meant to be together and build and grow and learn and spend a life together, it was a lesson. And maybe as you're manifesting, you don't realize that uh, you're actually calling back someone that you met a long time ago that was supposed to be in your life. And for whatever circumstances, whatever reasons, it never happened. But this ain't like negative energy around this, this is just that basic, you just stopped communicating, right? Went different directions. I'm not picking up any of that. There's no dramedy here. There's no, bullshit with this. There is no, there ain't going to be a shit ton of healing. This is the one that got away that might be coming back in. Page of Wands in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They never could tell you how they felt. For some of you, maybe it was, friends, difference in who you hung out with. Like I said, this could have been someone that you never realized liked your ass, and then all of a sudden they gonna come back. They could have seen you as being, husband or wifey material. And for a lot of them, they're trying to figure out how they could come back in. Now, this ain't going to be for everybody, so, take it if it resonates for you. You're going to know if it's your energy because you probably thought about this person. Some of you, this is who you're thinking about. So, you know what? If you're seriously looking at someone from the past, if you need a sign to reach out and communicate, maybe you should. For some of you, this could have been that one you're meant to spend the rest of your life with. It just never worked out at the time. And yes, for a lot of you, you might not even know that this person even thought of you in that way. Just think of all the people that you met throughout your life, that you've impacted. As some of you are manifesting, right? Calling in your perfect partner, your perfect match. You don't realize that you'd met this person before. Before we've had the internet to understand the terminology and shit like that people want to use the words. And you can put whatever terminology you want to on this. That's, how you proceed with it. That's how you work it. You are actually calling back someone from the past, just not the past that you think. For some of you, this person could definitely be thinking about or checking to see if you're single, first and foremost. Some of them may still be a little shy as to how to come in and even, kind of break the ice. How they could even, just, hey, how you doing? Especially if this is someone that you didn't really realize how much they liked you. Or how much they really wanted to get to know you and spend time with you back in the day. They see you haven't changed much. That's the beauty I get with this Two of Swords card. You were always like, with the swords energy there, you were always like maybe a little bit of a smart ass, but you were always like intelligent. The conversation was always good. They could always talk to you. But you were always like trying different things with the blindfold on. You were never afraid to try different things. This is the younger energies that don't get hung up on stupid shit, right? Always thinking big, dreaming big. You had big plans for your life. You had big goals. You had and you had the intelligence to follow it up. You know what I mean? That's how they remember you when you were younger. Don't you ever wonder how some people grow up to be, what kind of man or woman they grow up to be when you knew them as a kid? When you look at how your life has went? Because you're showing up as the Queen of Wands. You're fiery, passionate. You take action. You're a go-getter, right? You're still turning heads. For some of you, that Queen of Wands energy, you could definitely be single, right? And for a lot of you, you could definitely have been the one that got away, right? You listen to Foolish Games, you know, that the song that, you know, it can never work out. They were so completely like different in how it went, but the games, you know, the foolish games, which when you're younger, you have that foolish game stuff, right? So for a lot of you, this isn't like, this is fuckery from your 20s, right? This isn't like anything major. This is just immature energies because you were both immature. Someone just doesn't know how they're going to approach you. I think this person has always seen you as being like husband or wifey material. And now, collective, this could even be your energy. We could be tapping in on what you want to do. Are you drawn to contact somebody from your past? Maybe you're drawn to do that now. As you've gone through and done your healing, maybe you've been drawn to look somebody up. I wanted to put this reading out because it's going to be for some people. Might not be for everybody, but it could definitely be a couple people's story. Because as you manifest, right? Manifesting that past, that retrograde energy. But not all retrograde energy is bad. I hope a lot of you have actually been finding this retrograde to be more healing. More of a kind of a time for resolution, a time to understand the process, right? Understanding the process, understanding how everything just kind of falls into place, how things just sort of happen. When you learn to let go and let God and you go within and you chase your dreams, you do, and you live the life that you want, you understand that everything is as it should be. There's always a bigger picture. God knows the beginning, the middle, and the end. You don't. Things have to work out in certain ways for lessons to be learned, for things to fall into place. It's like stacking dominoes. That way, when the ball gets in motion, everything happens the way it's supposed to. Some of you, this is about you making the decisions you need to make in order to put that wheel of fortune to turn on your behalf, because you can. Can y'all hear the wind chimes? I'm hearing the wind chimes. The High Priestess in reverse. Y'all don't realize how manifesting really works. And the High Priestess in reverse. Understanding that tarot readings can be, you might think a reading is about a lover, and it could definitely be about a family member. You could think a reading could be about the past 2 or 3 people that you had, and it could be about someone from a long time ago, right? We tap into energies that are energies. You know, when the cards come up, now we don't have reconciliation in here. So for some of you, you might not have actually known how this person felt. I mean, for fuck's sake, you might have truly not realized that this person actually had a crush on you. This person actually thought you were the shit. It could very well be that energy. You know, not think of all the people that you might have not have told how you felt, or the ones that you know, held on to, thinking they were the one that got away because you couldn't express yourself. Retrograde's about, you know, going back and thinking and healing and healing, going back to your youth, your younger days. Maybe someone at a crossroad moment after they left you, and now they're thinking back, and maybe they're like, at that point in time, that's when, you know, I made a decision that put me on this path. What if I'd have chosen this one? How would my life have been had I had said what I needed to say and done what I needed to do and worked with this one? Because, you know, sometimes you meet the right one just at the wrong time. That doesn't mean it can never be. That just means it's not the right time. You guys weren't on the same wavelength. You guys weren't on the same journey at that time. You know, you had to take your separate journeys to learn what you had to learn, to deal with the karmic debt you had to pay, or to put you on the path that you had to go on, in order for time for you guys to come back together. Remember, your perfect match is going to meet you while you're on your way to your Nine of Pentacles energy, your life purpose. This person's going to come in too when they're doing their life purpose. And you're going to meet. It's not always the past. It's not always the past. Is this going to be everybody's reading? Probably not. You know, not every reading is for everybody. Take what resonates and leave the rest. You know, take what works, especially if you're feeling that urge. And you're going to know, right? Trust your gut and guidance on this. If you've been drawn to think about the one that got away, especially those of you heavy on the 90s on this, right? Your early 20s. Now, those of you, you know, maybe think of your early 20s. Okay? It's that type of energy. It's the youth, right? Where, you know, if there was anything there, it was just stupid immaturity things, right? You've grown, you've evolved, you've had kids, you've had marriages, you've had successes, you've had failures, you've picked yourself up, you've been knocked down again, you know, you've lived a life. So now you two are going to be able to maybe come together and create what should have been back then, but it just wasn't time. What I will say to this is it's that Wheel of Fortune in reverse. If action is going to be taken on this, it's going to be taken. But this is when you know it's going to be time for it to work. You know, they still may be tying up loose ends. You still may have some loose ends to tie up to get you in that position so that when you both come together, you're going to be able to completely give fully to each other, time and attention, in order for it to work. Right? You got to trust that the universe, the spirit, that God knows what's up. This person remembers you, though, when you were young. Or you remember this person when they were young. Collective. I love this energy. You know what I think is holding somebody up right now? You know how you age? Those of us that have gotten older. And you know, when you're out and you meet people, and you know, people from your past, and you think to yourself, oh God, do I look that old? Y'all ever found yourself doing that? You're like, oh my God, do I look that old? Maybe this person fears that they look that old. masculine or feminine. Because you're still showing up in this beautiful, strong energy right here. This Queen of Wands energy. So, and men, it's the same with you. It's like even though you're older, you still have that youthfulness about you. You still can move. You still can get out and do things. You have that, you're almost like ageless. You know what I mean? Almost like that Peter Pan type energy. You've always kept that curiosity. You've always kept that love for life. You've always kept that that thirst for knowledge and not being afraid to take chances and learn something new. That's how this person views you as. And maybe now, even as they look at you, they're like, how the fuck could I even keep up with that? They might be feeling older. They might be feeling, I don't want to say that midlife crisis bullshit, because I don't believe that. Because you know what? If you look at that, some people have their midlife in their fucking teens. It's just that feeling of lack. They're feeling, for some of them, it's almost like, what the hell, right? Reflecting on their life, reflecting on their decision. Maybe they have a relationship that's fallen apart. And now, as they're thinking about things, they're like, well, what the fuck, right? Eight of Wands with the Page of Pentacles. And maybe now they're thinking, what if I'd have done that? You ever think back on your life when you had that pivotal moment? Y'all, mine was January 3rd, 1994, when I flew into LaGuardia from Brussels, Belgium. I should have just stayed in New York City. I was 19. What if I would have, right? You could have been singing on Broadway. That'd have put me at the age, I'd have been out there when Sutton Foster was auditioning. You're young and stupid. You could afford to be broke and poor in a big-ass city, right? That pivotal moment in your life when you made a choice. And maybe now you're looking back thinking, well, what if I'd have went this direction? And y'all, I don't really dwell on anything from the past, because you know what? Everything is how it is. Everything is set up the way it's supposed to. And maybe someone now is maybe wishing they'd put more time and energy on you, or maybe just even told you what the hell they were thinking. Because I think even now you're like your youthfulness. You're still like the same person, even though you've had the years on you. You're still driven. It's still like the same energy. You know what I mean? How some people change to the point that they're like not even the same person. They want to act old when they're not. I love Highway to Heaven. And and I watched those episodes. Jonathan and Mark are the same age as me. Now you look at the 80s, how they depicted somebody in their 40s, mid-40s, early 50s, compared to 40 and 50-year-olds now, right? There ain't like no fucking comparison, y'all. Think back on that. Look back on some of them shows, how they projected or showed people in their 40s. And you're like, what the fuck? That ain't that shit now, right? It all comes down to that. Divine timing. The right people show up. The right opportunities show up. Everything shows up when it's supposed to. You just got to trust it. You got to trust it, collective. And some of them readings that you're thinking it's the past person, it's going to be a past person, but it's going to be a blast from the fucking past. And some of that drama and the shit they're going through, some of that release could be what this person is going through. They just haven't showed up in your timeline yet. Sweet Jesus. They just haven't shown up in your timeline yet. Because that Wheel of Fortune's going to happen. That divine timing is going to happen. Y'all are going to meet at the perfect point on your past where you can travel on together, building, creating, and thriving off of each other. That warms my heart. That warms my heart. And for some of you, that's going to be a part of that High Priestess in reverse, understanding, how it all works. Understanding. It's not always, the immediate past. Sometimes this could be a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right? Someone that remembers you when you were young. Oh, collective. Oh, collective. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, man. I wish that for those whose journey that is supposed to be. That's going to be a hell of a story. That's going to be a hell of a story. Peace, love, and light, collective. Peace, love, and light.